It is Friday, May 13th. I am Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. Let's get you guys caught up. There's quite a bit this week. The first thing, let's just acknowledge the biggest thing in the room, the elephant in the room, if you will. The big old delays. Starfield and Redfall have been delayed. Yes, Xbox and Bethesda came out and announced that both games are pushed to the first half of 2023. Redfall, the arcane game, sure. Starfield is significant because it had a set-in-stone release date of November 11th of this year, and a lot of us were looking forward to that. Word on the street is the game still needs a lot of time in the oven, and, we all here are pretty much at the point now where we're like, good, delay every game, take your time, make it good. It is interesting. It puts Xbox in an interesting spot because it means their holiday season this year is going to be significantly quieter. So I'm curious to see if they're going to pull any weird, crazy moves. They have infinite money. Maybe they will. But for now, it seems like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see what they're cooking up. I still expect that we're going to see something from it during their Xbox June showcase thing. They announced that they are doing an Xbox Bethesda showcase thing similar to what they've done previous E3s. Even if E3 isn't necessarily going on this year, there is the big Jeff Keighley thing, the Key 3. That's what we're trying to get that, it's not sticking, but mark your calendars for gaming news stuff from like June 9th to June 12th, 13th-ish. It seems like we're going to get some stuff. Speaking of Xbox news, it's worth briefly mentioning that there were some issues this week. They had some outages resulting in DRM problems. Some people, thanks to these outages, were not able to access their games that they own or purchase new games or access certain things. And that's a problem with the always online future. It happens with these companies. Sony has happened, of course. We're not just picking on one, but it is just another reminder of how even though you own stuff digitally on a platform, sometimes you can't actually access it, and that's not cool. I don't really have like a positive spin on, I don't have an old Jake Baldino spin on that one to end it on a positive note. But moving on, let's talk about cool graphics. This is another awesome, mind-blowing thing that has gone viral. This is a rendering of a Japanese subway station, a train station, and it's incredible. I and a couple of people had to watch this a couple times. It looked real at first, specifically because of the lighting that it is rocking. You see this is incredible here. This is actually Unreal Engine 5, big surprise, but it's not using the nanite tech for the environment. Everything is just built, and it's really the lighting here doing all the heavy lifting, and it looks absolutely incredible. The person who made this, shout out to them. This will be linked in the description down below, like everything we talk about. Lorenzo Drago did an incredible job, and specifically what they did was they used VR to get that realistic camera effect, and that really sold it for people. This is, again, just like a very small glimpse of what games can be. Of course, this is just a very small slice of something. A game built has to have so many other things running in the background, so games might not necessarily look exactly like this immediately, but still, this is just an exciting example of the tech. Now in other news, let's talk EA games for a second.
Well, what if we did it?
We shouldn't. But, so here's the deal. Hot off the heels of them talking about how they're reapproaching Battlefield 2042 after the disasters, they have teased 4 new projects. These are not things that are announced, so it's not like a Dragon Age or any Star Wars project or whatever that we know is in the works, Skate, etc., etc. This is specifically from them, from investor calls or whatever, Q4 projects. 4 of them: a major intellectual property, a partner title, a remake, and a sports title. There's plenty of speculation as to what they could be. Maybe it's an unannounced Star Wars game in there. A new intellectual property is cool. Just a completely new and exciting thing. They tried that with Anthem. But we're going to have to wait and see how those pan out. Interestingly enough, in news that kind of flew under the radar but is very significant to the big business stuff, EA and FIFA are breaking up, which is pretty wild considering FIFA is like an absolute freaking monster for EA in terms of sales. It seems like they both very much wanted to go out and do their own thing. EA is doing a FC or football club brand game in the future, and FIFA intends to make their own competitive games. So that's interesting. It's nice to see things loosen up, but while we're at it with big sports changes, can we bring back Fight Night? Can we bring back the 2K football games? Can we bring back the NCAA basketball games? and backyard baseball. Bring back backyard baseball if we're just demanding things. Hey, next up, this episode is brought to you by our longtime sponsor, Vessi. Now, if you haven't heard of these are essentially our go-to dependable shoes that we've been recommending for a long time now. Whether you're wearing them for work or for chilling or for whatever, Vessi's got you covered with a bunch of different colors and shapes and sizes. Most notably with their newest release, the Everyday Move slip-ons. If you like to keep it simple and comfy, these are your best bet. They also give the added arch support from the Everyday Move sneakers. And really, they're great. All of their kicks are sustainably made, vegan, and 100% waterproof, which is my favorite feature by far. For me, it has been perfect in this messy spring because for like the last week, it felt like it was raining every day in New York. And these really came in clutch, like puddles, mud, no problem. They keep your feet dry, but most importantly, they keep your feet cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The material is just that good. So if you want them, click the link in the description down below or go to vessi.com/gameranx and use our code gameranx for $25 off your order of Vessi adult shoes. That's vessi.com/gameranx. Use that code gameranx. And thanks to Vessi for sponsoring our videos. Anyway, also in EA news, we linked the whole presentation down below, but they did another presentation, like a developer deep dive of the Dead Space remake, which now has an official release date, and it's actually pretty soon. I mean, soon in the grand scheme of things with all the delays. It is January 27th, 2023. Next up, in case you missed it, Warner Brothers did put out a big 13-minute long thing for Gotham Knights. We got to see quite a bit of this game, specifically gameplay from Nightwing and Red Hood. And open world stuff, cooperative action. We got to see how the gear works out. We got to see like the hub area in the Belfry, little cutscenes, stuff like that. Lots of combat. Traversal is weird. Okay, the way they make Red Hood jump around is insane, the way they explain. Okay, I'm getting too Batman weird about this. I'll spare you the Batman fanboy stuff. This game looks weird. I'm still very much cautious with this one. The combat doesn't look as good as I feel like it should, considering it is, or at least kind of at first was pitched as a spiritual successor to the Arkham-style combat. It's not looking as fluid or as just fun and freeform as that was. Playing with friends does look cool. I love the Gotham City they built here also. That looks incredible, but I don't know. I'm still up in the air on this one, but that's just whatever. You know, my job here, and you know, I will judge the game when my hands are on it. Still, that's one where opinions are flying high and wild, so I definitely want to hear what you think down in the comments. Next up, got some rapid fire things for you to check out. They're all going to be linked in the description down below. The first is this week we got a Nintendo Indie World Showcase. A lot of new indie titles rolling out. Some good stuff to sink your teeth into if you were just a diehard Switch indie fan, which that device is really great for indies. But it's also worth pointing out, like, not to rain on those games parade, but also no word from Hollow Knight Silk Song. Hello, hi, what's going on? That game doesn't exist.
No, not real.
I dreamed that game was announced. That was a fever dream. Also, just a quick excuse to talk about my man Maxwell Payne. I don't know if that's actually his real name. Maximilian Payne. Max Payne, it's actually the 10th anniversary of Max Payne 3. And to celebrate, Rockstar announced that they are re-releasing the soundtrack, like an updated version with some new stuff, and a vinyl pressing, which is pretty sick. There's no date on it, but they just announced that that is coming. And as somebody who just likes Max Payne in general, cool. And that song in the airport, like when that hits, man. Also linked below, in a more television side of things, is a trailer for the Netflix Resident Evil show. Yes, another one. No, not an animated thing. No, not a movie. A completely different live action show that is about a Wesker and his family in the future or something. I'm not into this, but the trailer had a chainsaw and lots of blood and guts, so I don't know, man. I give everything a shot, including the Halo show, which he just had sex in the television show. What is going on? Also, if you're into VR, I linked a demonstration video, the newest kind of tease for Meta and Facebook. Facebook is so annoying, but the Cambria project. This is the Coheed and Cambria headset. Sorry, I'm a mess today. Cambria is essentially their high-end new VR experience that's going to also lump in some AR stuff. And again, it's early concept stuff, but it seems pretty cool. If you like VR and you like the tech and the incremental updates, there's cool stuff here. Also, linked in the description down below is just a trailer for Evil Dead the game, because that is dropping today. I'm going to be diving into that hard once this video is finished, so consider checking out our Before You Buy that will drop this weekend. Also, just linked an article, because this is fun, like a build of Duke Nukem Forever has released, and it's really taken PC players by storm. It's not finished. It's been tweaked, but it is technically kind of playable, and there's some cool stuff. And if you just like video game history, this is like the pre-Duke Nukem Forever that was actually apparently close to being finished until like Gearbox ended up making a completely different one that turned out to not be that great. But there's a lot going on here. There seems to still be a lot of like bad blood or attitude in the air from the original developers. I don't know, but if you like gaming history, check it out. It's interesting. Also, in another story that's pretty interesting, you may have seen hit headlines, Nintendo is worried. Specifically, Nintendo is just worried and aware about their next move, their next hardware shift, the Nintendo Switch 2. Or whatever you want to call it. The president of Nintendo did go on record saying that their current major focus is their move from Nintendo Switch to the next hardware thing. And he specifically stated how they're going to try and do it right this time, saying that they have very much learned from jumps, like, with the 3DS, specifically the Wii to the Wii U. This president is on the younger side. He has been around for these are still fresh moves, so they are very carefully, seemingly considering their approach, and it's going to be twofold, apparently, with Nintendo account stuff. They want to do long-term customer stuff, which is good, because they never did. They finally figured that out, and then also just other experiences around games, seemingly the Super Mario movie and whatever else they're coming up with. So that's their approach to the future. Pretty interesting to see Nintendo be so candid and come out and talk about stuff like that. It's a little different for them, but I like to see it. I linked that article in the description because it's pretty interesting. Oh, and also, now, we can't show too much of it on screen, but there have been Silent Hill, seemingly, it's a rumor, take it with a grain of salt, but like there have been some Silent Hill leaks floating around, dude, with like art and images. And this is from Dusk Golem, who has leaked things before. It got like a DMCA takedown, which oftentimes is some sort of a confirmation that something is real. So this seems like a very different Silent Hill, just a couple of images here and there. Again, sorry, can't show much because we don't want this video to get taken down by the corporate overlords, but if anything, it can at least confirm some, like we've known Konami has been working on things. There's been some official acknowledgement, a lot of rumor stuff, so this might have been early stuff. He did say it was a little older from like 2020 or so, but still, a Silent Hill acknowledgement. I'll take it. And I think that's a good way to end this week. So let's talk about the stuff going on this week. I want to know what you think if you had to suffer through the Xbox outages, what you expect from Starfield. Are you just like, I hate Bethesda. I get it. Are you like me for the Max Payne 3 10th anniversary? Are you going to go replay that this weekend for the 1000th time? And this wild Resident Evil show. Are you gonna give it a shot? Are you over just Resident Evil media properties at this point? I'm like right there. But let's talk about any of the news going on this week. Maybe if you're a FIFA fan, I'd love to hear your perspective of this EA FIFA separation. Let's talk about anything gaming news down in the comments. We want to hear from you guys, and we'll be down there. But things get a little crazy, so if you want to yell at me directly, of course, I always tell you to just hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Baldino, or my other YouTube channel, Jake Baldino, if you want to hear me talk about like Doctor Strange and stuff. But my good folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for just coming around and getting caught up on the news with us. We very much appreciate it here. All you got to do is click the like button. That's all we ask. We're easy. But hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. I'm Jake Baldino. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me.